All right, Shalom. Shalom, giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Tazawan from GMS Atlanta. Back with another edifying video. An update to the coming MOTB. And this article here is from Watech. And it says, brain implants market anticipated to achieve 9.21 US dollars, growing at a striking 9.1% CAGR by 2028. So there's money to be made with the MOTB. Billions of dollars is being invested and put into this market that is emerging, this transhumanism, this internet of things, internet of bodies, and this is a sign showing you that the elites have an invested interest in this coming digital system. A lot of funding is being put into these different brain-computer interface companies such as Neuralink and others. And you'll be hard-pressed. You're going to be hard-pressed to convince the world that this isn't something beneficial. That's why when we preach, according to Revelation, the 13th chapter, not to take it, only the elect are going to be delivered out of Babylon. There's a lot of money going into just this particular specific market alone. This isn't even RFID and NFC technology as a whole. This isn't even cybersecurity and banking as a whole. This is just dealing with the BIM, brain implants market. So when we here at GMS, starting with the apostles and bishops, the rest of the elders and brothers, when we tell you that the prophecy in Revelation 13, 16, 17, and 18 is fulfilled through implantable digital technology, we're not lying. You have the IUIC, ISUPK, WFI, and other Israelite groups, HOI, trying to convince their congregations that the MOTB is something else. They're trying to make you look the other way when it comes to what GMS is saying. Meanwhile, in the real world, all right, and in the world, there's a true manifestation of a revolution of industry. And the technology that we see quantum leaping into our hands and homes every 12 months, 9 to 10 months, with updates and upgrades and, additional versions of a previous technology. We're seeing things eventually about to lead to putting this tech in your body. So that's why we see that this has an estimated growth rate of 9.1% over the next 4 years, because this is a part of the agenda. Now, that was just my intro. So let me get into this article. It says, the brain implants market is a rapidly advancing sector within the medical device industry, focused on the development and application of neuroprosthetics that interface directly with the brain. These implants, also known as neural implants or brain-computer interfaces, are designed to restore, enhance, or replace lost or damaged neurological functions. And you're going to have a lot of celebrities promote this. Think about if someone is sharp, athletic, experienced, intelligent, as lively as a spirit like Muhammad Ali, if he had this technology, as his health started to decline into the 80s and 90s, as he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Imagine if he could just go to a doctor, spend a couple $1,000s, and get this device. And then the media saying it's a miracle. Muhammad Ali, once diagnosed with Parkinson's, makes a recovery or is able to live a functioning life with new brain implant. Or maybe let's take Superman, Christopher Reeve. He suffered from an accident after he did those movies about Superman. That was tragic, right? Imagine Christopher Reeve getting this implant, and they say it's a miracle. Superman lives. Christopher Reeves get brain. See, this is the type of see, and I can see it through the spirit. This is the type of marketing that this technology is going to introduce to the world. Of course, it starts out as a part of the medical industry, because anything dealing with the body and biology has to be checked through medical the medical sector, okay? FDA, certain universities, and have to get certain things signed off on for human use and then public use. And this is going to be a worldwide global thing. Different companies around the world. Of course, you're going to have your franchise, your franchise, just like the Apple and Samsung became the franchise technology for cellular phones, branded as smartphones, after, Nokia and Sony and the previous phone companies. Now the top two is Apple and Samsung. And then in the future with this technology, we could see Neuralink, Synchron, maybe, have a Chinese version appear on the market. So now you have your three industry leaders in brain implant technology, which is $1 billion industry, $1 billion market. People are going to be, especially in this world of plagues and pandemics and shutdowns and fears and scares, people are going to want their loved ones to be able to, interact like normally, A lot of families have power of attorney. When certain family members that are older, well, let's say, okay, you have power of attorney over a family member in their estate or their assets or whatever, and they're suffering from, let's say, Alzheimer's. But this technology comes out in the next 6 months. And they'll say, oh, well, you know what? We've trialed it. We'll push it through Medicaid. You know how many Israelites are going to flock to this technology? So grandma and mama and them and Auntie Cheryl and Auntie Bernice can get this device, or Papa and Unc, and then they go through the recovery stages, and they can at least talk again, or they can think. Or maybe your children, a lot of children suffer from the palsy, cerebral palsy, or they suffer from certain neurological diseases. What's the main one? Autism. And then you have the government pushing this device. Israelites are going to, and of course not just Israelites, the American public in general, but I'm speaking to my people, so-called Black fans and Native Americans. You know how many of our people who don't know what this technology is going to flock to this so they can have their sons and daughters be able to function like normal children again, maybe play soccer, or can join an advanced class in math and science. That's why when this technology is introduced, that's why the scriptures call this, it's going to call that time period the hour of temptation, because they're going to make this so appealing. I'm talking about the beast. I'm talking about Esau. Now, Apostle Har has done already a few videos on this beast system being introduced over there in Europe, the European Union, which is pretty much the banking system. But that's also going to include medical and identification as well. The whole system is going to be interoperable or tied together. And I'm speaking from reality. The breakdowns, we've gone over the breakdowns 1,000 times. We've defended the gospel constantly. But there's a new reality coming to this world in a short amount of time. We're getting information of billions of people being targeted to pass and be unalived within the next year. Plagues and pestilence is increasing. Fear is increasing in the earth. Riots and protests. The drums of World War III are beating louder and louder. And when everybody is suffering, hyperinflation goes up, economies start to go under, but then it hits home here in Babylon the Great, and you get an ad on your social media or your streaming service, or there's some kind of announcement, and there's this new device, this new technology that can help your loved ones, as opposed to what happened, 3-4 years ago? No, just take this device and we'll be able to ID you digitally. Don't worry. If you have to sit home, we have universal basic income. This is the world that we're seeing emerge. The change and the shift of the way the globe operates is happening at a fast-paced speed. But you're telling me that this is not found in the Holy Bible? I've said a lot, so let me continue reading. It says, brain implants. Now, this is the market definition. Brain implants are tools inserted into the brain surface or cortex to create a link between the brain and microcephaly. Now, your cortex is speaking about your frontal cortex, which is located behind your forehead. All right. If you were to be able to see behind your forehead, and you know your brain is behind there, the part of the brain behind your forehead is your frontal cortexes, your frontal lobes, which directly deal with thinking, feeling. You have your motor cortex, how you're able to walk. So this is what John the Revelator saw. He saw this technology emerging in the earth over 2,000 years ago. It was revealed to him, all right, through Yahweh Shai by those angels that he was getting visions from. Okay? It says brain implants are designed for people. Well, I'm sorry. It says these implants assist in tackling the injured areas of the brain. That's what Elon Musk was speaking on. If you watch his earlier interviews about the Neuralink, he was speaking about the first application of this technology was dealing with people with neurological issues and injured areas of the brain and how it could help them become more normal and even more enhanced. I'm just stating the facts. Brain implants are designed for people who have suffered from a brain injury or stroke. These implants assist individuals in improving brain functions such as memory, senses, and physical movements. See, like I said, and they're selling you this. This is being sold to you in these words in this article. It's like, it can do all of that. But you have leaders in the world of Israel, Hebrew Israelites, that don't look things up. They don't research themselves, and then they don't even give the information to their schools or churches or congregations, followers and listeners. So just as this is what Yahweh Shai said, let them alone, for if they be blind leaders of the blind, then both shall fall into a ditch. So if they are blinded, whether it be through money, blinded in how they should teach and direct through being funded behind the scenes, selling out, or whether they're blinded spiritually by the Lord in the lack of understanding, everyone that follows them is going to be led into a ditch. Oh, man. So now let me jump down, okay? And you can look up this article for yourself. Now I'm going to start jumping around and reading some of this. But I had to just speak in the sincerity of my heart, Because I myself, I look these things up daily. So I have a working understanding of what's coming in, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I just want to share this with Israel, the hopeful elect out there, from the apostles and brothers on down. This is just what the Lord has given me, Because we, hopeful elect, we want to be delivered out of these temptations. Just like it says in the Lord's Prayer, Matthew the 6th chapter, It says key players. Because there are so many companies in the industry, it is expected to be both competitive and fragmented. Here is the list of the leading companies operating in the brain implants market. Boston Scientific Corporation. Okay. Medtronic. Neuropace Inc. Synapse Biomedical Inc. St. Jude Medical, Abbott, Nevro Corporation, Aliva Therapeutics SA. That might be from South Africa. Right? You can buy a premium research report. So there's studies being done on this. Geographical landscape. North America, US and Canada. Europe, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, UK, Netherlands, Austria. There you go. The beast. The woman on the beast. Asia Pacific, China, India, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, South Korea. Latin America, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico. Middle East and Africa, Saudi Arabia, UAE, State of Israel, and South Africa. Remember, this is going to be a trial over the whole earth. Okay? Key trends of the brain implants market: advancements in brain-computer interfaces. So they're constantly growing the technology. The second point, expansion into psychiatric and cognitive disorders. So about treating medically certain neurological disorders and other things dealing with, brain injuries. Also, miniaturization and wireless technology. So they're going to continue to make this technology smaller and smaller, right? It says while improving the usability of the devices. There's micro C-hips that you can look up that are almost as small as a grain of sand, but can still hold incredible amounts of data. Just so you know. And it's not about the size, it's about how much information that these micro C-hips can hold. The smart screen the smartphone or the cell phone went from a three-dimensional, device to damn near barely three-dimensional, flatter and flatter, smaller and smaller technology. They call these smartphones, they're actually known as slate phones. Okay? These rectangle devices are known as slate phones or slate devices. Tablet, smartphones. Okay? And there's different what it says here, segmentations of the different types of devices. Deep brain stimulators, spinal cord, vagus nerve stimulators. And they're looking to heal chronic pain, epilepsy, Parkinson's, like I mentioned about Muhammad Ali, depression, and what average citizen around the world is not suffering, especially here in America, suffering from a level of depression. And instead of taking these pills, they'll say, oh no, just take this brain implant and it'll go away. Essential tremors, Alzheimer's disease, your mother or your grandma, your granddad getting this device and his Alzheimer's can be cured. That's the type of media campaign that's going to come, and it's all going to be based off of this market research that's coming with this technology. And they didn't even mention Neuralink or these other human trial companies, but believe that they're being researched too. And then they probably have their own research, market research teams. Okay, this is from Polaris. So let me get a scripture. Okay, let's go to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. And this is what Yahushua himself said. He says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that time period of temptation is going to come when these different digital implant devices are mass marketed through the media to entice you and tempt you to put them inside of you, to tie you into a bigger system, whether it comes voluntary at first. Eventually, it's going to be made mandatory through necessity. I did videos earlier today about the different plagues that are coming, that are here and spreading, pestilences, whether it comes through having a need to bank digitally or other reasons. There's money in this, over 9 billion and growing. So next year, 2025, it could double, 20 billion. Who knows what research they're getting, especially with these human trials and the successfulness of Neuralink and these other companies. Oh, they can put more and more money into this type of technology. So this is why Yahushua says this. We have to be faithful. Verse 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. We're not supposed to let these Israelite leaders lie to us and not go into the scriptures and get deep and a better understanding. Linking up the wrong precepts, like what Bishop Nathaniel, General Nathaniel was doing. Meanwhile, you have the Apostle Tahar defending the name, along with Apostle Kabar, Apostle Apostle Rakal, the rest of the bishops, the elders, the brothers of Great Millstone, teaching day in and day out, doing the right thing according to the Bible. And you have Israelite leaders that are trying to take your crown, Israelite man, Israelite woman of the hopeful elect, because they refuse to humble themselves to the information that is readily available and that's out there in the mainstream news and Google search away. None of them stop to think about maybe what GMS is saying is true. And like I said, they more than likely sold out. Have regulations on what they can teach. But that's why it's more imperative to you that you follow who you know to be true. We don't have to have the flashy garments, the 4K cameras, the gimmicks, the movies, because Daniela them did a Karagma movie not too long ago. We don't have to do no movie to tell you that the MOTB is an implant. And that's another thing I want to get into. We don't have to have no rap videos. We don't have to sell you T-shirts and hats to tell you the truth here at Great Millstone. Let's go to Revelation, the 13th chapter. I'm gonna make this quick and end it from here. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, that's the beast, This digital banking system emerging in Europe is called the beast, but the conglomerate of governments of Europe, NATO, including America, together is known as the beast. That's what we're seeing have power and given life and power here, even in the 15th verse in this Revelation 13 chapter. All right? It says, and he causes all. This is dealing with people, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond people, to receive a mark, which in the Greek, the word there is not to watch, to scope out. It's not sin. The Greek word there is charagma, which means something engraved or cut, which is a physical thing. And it's going to be physically cut and engraved or implanted in their right hand or in their foreheads. Behind your forehead is your frontal cortex, which is what these medical brain implant devices are geared toward stimulating and enhancing. Okay? You see your forehead in the image here, the eyes, the nose, and then you see right behind your forehead is your brain. And then you see the image of the implantable device stimulating your brain. This is what John saw. Okay? Verse 17. And that no man or woman might buy or sell, save, meaning except, EXCEPT, except he or she that had the MARK, the charagma, the implantable device, the BCI, brain computer interface, the RFID or NFC hand implantable device, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And then the 18th verse goes into, spiritually, is the vibration of the system that Esau uses. Also, the characters of 603 in the Greek correspond to something cut or pricked into the skin. So that's where that wisdom comes in at. Also to the barcode system, based upon the UPC code. It's a spiritual number. And it's the number that Esau is using to attach to this emerging digital implantable system, where your digital wallet, your digital ID, your records medically, and other information will be all on that device that identifies you. This is Revelation 14 and 9. Doom for the worshipers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man or woman worship the beast and his image, and receive his MARK in his or her forehead or in his or her hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture unto the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. That's the nuclear destruction that's coming via nuclear missiles, hypersonic or conventional ICBMs that will be used in this coming war or battle of Armageddon, what we know to be World War III, which is prophesied in the scriptures. This is going to happen in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahushua. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Once the destruction takes place, the radiation and the activity, the smoke is going to linger for a long time. This place will be a complete desert. It says, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the MARK of his name, the implant. And when you read about it, it said that there will be a grievous sore upon those that take this device, which also shows that it's something physical. Verse 12, here is the patience of the saints. The saints are Hebrew Israelites. No other nation applies to this but Israelites. Even if they look like other nations, they're still Israelites. These are the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High, which we do to the best of our ability, but that's not what's going to deliver us. It says, and the faith of Yahweh Shai. The faith, first and foremost, which allows us to keep the commandments. It motivates and drives us to keep the commandments, our faith. But what is our deliverer? Yahweh Shai, which means he delivers or he saves. So I just want to show you that there is a change in the world coming, and there's money to be made. The market is growing with this technology. The banks, the elites, the governments are on board, and eventually the hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble, is coming soon. But those of us that don't take this device will be delivered by Yahweh Shai. All praises goes to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Once again, double honors to the apostles, bishops, the rest of the elder brothers, the rule and teach well. Right? You know, those of us that are teaching the right thing. Shalom to the rest of the 144,000, rest of the hopeful elect. All of us that are hoping to be delivered. That's what I'm saying. To the next video, I'll say shalom.